Alright my friends, so as you can see Cerydra is here and she is going to be the second character for version 3.5. So we are going to talk about her and what she could bring to the game, and I would love to hear your opinion about her in the comments section below. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So as you can see Cerydra here is basically looking so gorgeous. She looks exactly the same as Furina from Genshin Impact, which is pretty crazy. Like seriously, the face is literally the exact same face. Even the haircut is pretty much the exact same. Like it's just so similar. And then we have also these bat wings, which are pretty interesting. Like, why does she have bat wings? Are they from her body, or are they just basically a cosmetic that she has on her design? That will be pretty interesting to see. If they are from her body, then what type of people is she? Because we didn't see anyone on Amphoreus that basically has bat wings. This is actually pretty crazy. So it would be pretty interesting to see whether these bat wings are actually just cosmetics on her design, or if they are actually from her body and there is something wrong with her body, or there is something with her body that has to do with that. Either way, her design looks phenomenal. Whenever we have basically a character that has white hair or white bluish hair, I immediately like that character. That is just one of my weaknesses. So that looks amazing. Now when it comes to the path and element, she is going to be wind harmony character. Now if we look at all of the harmony characters that we have in the game, from the very first one, basically Bronya, until now, who was a harmony character and was not useful? Sparkle. Sparkle is literally the only harmony character that we got until now in the game who wasn't exactly useful on release and didn't become useful later on either. She is the only example of a harmony character that wasn't actually something special. Literally every single other harmony character was just perfect on release, and sometimes they became even better afterwards. For example, Ruan Mei, she was very good on release and she became even better later on, but now she isn't as good as she was before, because of the fact that basically her team, which is the break team, isn't as relevant in the meta as it was before. But as soon as we get basically relevant break characters, she is going to return to the meta. That's the great thing about harmony characters. Usually it's extremely hard to basically power creep them, because even when they are power creeped in terms of team, whenever their team becomes relevant again, they are going to be relevant again, because they are not characters who deal damage. They are just amplifiers for the relevant characters who are going to deal damage. So by default, any harmony character that we get is pretty much with a 99% chance going to be valuable and worth pulling for. It's just what harmony is, and this is pretty much the same for every other single game, because harmony characters or buffers in general are always in every single game hard to power creep. They are just amplifiers that amplify the characters who get power creeped. So for example, Firefly is easy to power creep because she is a damage dealer, and therefore when you have basically a harder boss to kill and you have characters who deal more damage than Firefly, then it's pretty much over for Firefly. She is basically power crept. However, it's hard to power creep Ruan Mei because she is not a damage dealer, so it doesn't matter how high the HP of the boss is or how hard it is to kill that boss. The problem is whether the character that you are amplifying is basically strong or not, and therefore whenever she has a character that is strong, even after a whole year of her release, she is going to become relevant again. So that pretty much means that Cerydra is going to be a very, very good character to pull. She is a harmony character, so that is going to give her basically a very good advantage over any other character that we get. And that is also giving her an advantage over Hysilens as well. So that is that for the path and element. I think that she is going to be a very good pull in case you are going to pull for her. Either way, let's read about her. Flamebearer, Tyrant, Empress. Oh, Tyrant. Oh, ho, ho, okay. Supreme Commander, Imperator. The world has given me countless titles, but you may simply call me by my true name, Cerydra. Finally, we have someone who has a real name, and it's literally the exact same as they have it in the game. It's Cerydra. Jesus Christ, why does every single one of them has to have a different name from what they actually have in the game? Like, why? Chessmaster Monarch. Cerydra, we can actually see all of the chess pieces here, which is cool. Cerydra, the Northern Empire, a lost dynasty where frozen lands burn with ambitions of conquest. Wow, is she going to be basically the next Midemis or what? Sovereign Cerydra, Chrysos Heir who wields the Coreflame of law. Okay, this is another basically Titan that we aren't going to see because unfortunately the Titan is already dead. Now obviously for the next cycle she is going to be the Titan, and she is going to be a very good Titan for the law. But the previous Titan we aren't going to see, unfortunately. And even if there are a description about the Titan itself, as long as we don't see a picture of it, we didn't see the Titan. It doesn't matter. You shall set your pieces, challenge the gods, pass judgment upon the faithless, and carve the path of a flame chase into the fate of this world. Apparently this character is actually living up for her name, Tyrant, because she seems like she is actually forcing people to do stuff. She isn't about, oh yeah, we should actually believe in it. No, you must believe in it. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't fit her design to be actually a tyrant or dictator. I don't know, it doesn't feel like that. Maybe once we meet her and we see how she acts, maybe then we could actually see that she is a tyrant, but for now, from the design, she doesn't look like one. Either way, this is no end. The path of Amphoreus shall blaze across the stars. That is actually cool, but what stars? You can't even leave the sky because of the Sky Titan, but now we can actually. Either way, she looks actually pretty phenomenal when it comes to the design. I can't wait for her lore. I wonder whether they are going to give us actually any lore about Cerydra and Hysilens in version 3.4 story, or whether they are going to leave that for until version 3.5. Now, usually they do give us at least a little bit of a hint towards the story of the upcoming characters. So they don't just leave us basically completely in shadow, they give us some hints about them, but usually they like to keep basically the story for these characters until their version update, just like how they did with basically Midemis, Aglaia, Cypher, with basically Hysilens. Every single character of them was basically kept as they did give us hints about their story and about their past, but all of their stories were kept until their version update. So most likely they are going to do the same with Cerydra and Hysilens. They are most likely going to give us basically their story in version 3.5, but they might give us some hints about their story in version 3.4. And obviously 3.4 is going to be mostly surrounding basically Phainon, his past, and his relationship with basically Cyrene, maybe IDS Elysia, and maybe, just maybe, this is just hopeful thinking, they might give us some lore about what is happening, what is actually happening with March 7th, and maybe show us her on Amphoreus, since we already know she is on Amphoreus. Why aren't you showing us her on Amphoreus? Like, come on, man. Either way, This is my opinion about it. I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail. And until next time, see you as always in the next video.